Hi there, Serdar Yegulalp here for InfoWorld at IDG. In this episode of Smart Python, we're going to take a look at the set type, a way to create a collection of unique objects. In previous videos, I explored Python's dictionary type, which lets you store values and access them by way of unique keys. Sets are a little bit like dictionaries that are only keys but no values, but they are a good deal more than just that. They make it possible to perform many elegant and powerful operations on groups of objects. Sets contain a collection of objects that are unique to the set. And again, in that sense, they are like dictionaries, in that dictionaries also need to have all of their keys be unique. You can create a set a number of different ways. The literal syntax for creating a set is very similar to a dictionary: curly braces and one or more comma-separated values. You can also use the set built-in to create a set from objects yielded up by any iterable, in this case a list. You can also retrieve the total number of elements in a set using the length operator len, and you can determine if an object is in a set with the in operator. What's more, and this is one of the strongest selling points for the use of a set, the time required to determine if something is in a set is nearly constant, no matter how big the set is. In this example here, we have a set with a number of movie titles, and we use in to determine if one of them is present or absent. The results are Boolean, true or false. We can also add and remove items from sets, as we would from a dictionary. In this case, we use the add and remove methods on the set to do this. Note that if we try to add an object that already exists to a set, nothing happens. Sets will only ever contain one instance of any particular object. Now, note that this isn't the case if you create multiple objects that look similar, but are not in fact the same object in memory. In this example, we have a class, and we use it to generate multiple objects, each with a name. Two of the objects have the same name, and they look the same because of how they're displayed. But they are not the same object in memory, and so as a result we can insert multiple instances of it into a set. Another thing is that the order of objects in a set is not guaranteed, whether they are inserted one by one or created all at once. This is in contrast to dictionaries, which in recent years were reworked in such a way that the insertion order of elements was preserved. But sets don't do this. They need to be optimized for testing for both the presence or absence of an element, and the optimizations used for dictionaries would degrade performance for some of those operations in sets. Sets also require that any elements added to them be immutable. This means objects like lists, dictionaries, and other sets can't be inserted into sets as elements. As we can see in this example, we can't insert this list into a set as an element by itself. We could insert each of the elements in the list into the set one by one, because those individual elements don't change, they're immutable strings, but the list itself is mutable. Likewise, in this example, we can't add a dictionary to a set as a whole, but we could add each individual component. Now, when we created a class, you'll notice that we could insert class instances into a set because the class instance object itself doesn't change. But the properties of that class instance object might change, just not the class instance itself. This is a tricky distinction that trips people up when dealing with Python objects, and it's worth talking about a little bit further in another video. But the basics should be clear. You can't use what amounts to a container for other objects as a set element. Now in the next video, I'm going to demonstrate more operations you can perform with sets, such as intersections and differences, which makes some very powerful operations with groups of objects quite simple. That's it for this episode. If you liked it, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the IDG Tech Talk channel on YouTube. And for more Smart Python and more Dev with Serdar, be sure to follow me on Facebook, YouTube, and Infoworld.com.